Welcome to the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. And here's your host, John Limdemis, bringing you amazing insights and views of entrepreneurship on today's society.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the episode 3 of the Hustle Factory Podcast Show. And today, I would like to discuss about habits, and to be more specific, positive habits, guys. In the previous episode, I was briefly talking about the importance of forming habits and how it relates to measuring your own success. But in today's episode, I will now be discussing, now more in depth about positive habits, and especially, and I believe this is one of the most important things I would like to talk about for this episode. They are the 7 reasons why forming these positive habits is very crucial and very important to your success. Before we get started in this episode, guys, I would like to first mention that this episode is basically like a continuation from the previous episode that I published last week. But here's the catch. The catch is that this episode is mainly all about positive habits. You heard me right. Positive habits, guys. Just like what I've mentioned in the previous episode, I will go right ahead and create an episode about positive and negative habits. So that way we can keep the topic going on the social media and especially on this niche as well. And also this will give you guys an idea why they are very important to your success. I mean, at least for positive habits. I don't know about the negative habits now, but I'll get to that later on in the near future. But I gotta ask you guys something. What do you think this successful people these days are very successful? To be more specific, why do you think these individuals like Bill Gates, Gary Vaynerchuk, Donald Trump, and other successful people, why do you think they're very successful? What's the main reason why they're very successful? Well, one of those factors is that they're actually building those positive habits and they're using it to get their success to the next level. That's why. And now let's get on to the next part. So when we talk about positive habits, it can range from these amazing positive habits such as hitting up the gym for 3 to 7 times a week, eating the right diet to supplement your health, waking up every morning to call your prospects and your clients for your business. And believe me or not, the list can go on forever. And I'm not even lying this to you guys or making this up for you guys. I'm being actually for real. So for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I will now be discussing positive habits and the 7 main reasons why forming positive habits is crucial to your success. And you will also find out at the end of the episode, each of its benefits, and how can you create those new habits again today. So then now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show on the road. Let's do it. First off, what are habits? On the last episode, I defined habits as a behavioral pattern that is acquired by frequent repetition or psychological exposure that shows itself in a regular basis, right? So once again, if habits is a frequent repetition or a psychological exposure that exhibits it in a regular basis, then that means this is something we learn and achieve these positive habits, right? In short, habits is something that you actually do every day or daily without thinking about much about it. So for this first reason, the phrase habits are who you are simply means that whatever you do in an everyday basis of your life actually reflects upon for who you really are and especially reflects upon to your success. What it actually means, whatever you do every day, that's exactly what's gonna happen and that's exactly what's gonna result into it. Whether it could be positive or negative, but we're focusing on the positive side. All right, for the second one is you can change your habit. Everyone knows that, but I hope everyone knows that. You know what's the nice thing about habits? The good thing about it is that you can change them. I mean, maybe not instantly, or maybe it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen in one day. But the point being is that you are in full control of your habit. You heard me right. You are in full control of your habit. No one else, not your mom, not your dad, not your sister, not your grandparents, not your friend, and I don't care who it is. And let me go ahead and cross the line. Not even God, okay? Don't let anyone control your habits, all right? You're the only one who can control those habits, no matter fucking what. Anyways, old habits may be hard to break because it seems they are the hardest to break. But here's the bright side. The bright side is it is possible to make it happen. Isn't that awesome? I know it is. For instance, if you want to start eating healthier, all you have to do is skip your morning donut until it becomes a second nature to turn down pastries at breakfast. Another good example is if your goal is to become financially free, meaning you are making this ridiculously amazing amount of income while you sleep, and then you don't wanna work anymore. You don't wanna go back to that job that you hate so much and it always gives you stress. Here's just one thing I want to tell you guys. And to be honest with you guys, it is 100 possible to make it happen. Anyone can achieve this goal. As long as one thing I will say is that this will be only possible as long as you stick to your true goals. Meaning you need to take action. And guess what? If you don't do anything, it's not gonna happen. So that's why you need to take action. That's why taking action is very important for achieving your goals and dreams. Third reason, good habits allows you to reach your goals. That's a very interesting one. So if you wanted to achieve and reach some of your goals, here's something you need to know. While you're in the midst working some of your goals, or you're in the middle of working on some of your goals or dreams, you will get to that situation where you're about to give up or start slacking out because it seems that no matter what you do, you just can't get them on the right track, right? Sounds familiar, right? Like we all been there. Sounds very familiar. Anyways, so here's the thing, and here's the thing that I hate and that kind of like ticks me off all the time. I see all these people complaining that they can't make it. It's so hard. Well, I got some news for you guys. You can't simply jump on something and expect to achieve or reach those goals immediately. Hell no. What do you think this is? This is not fucking Disney, okay? This is not something that some fairy godmother gonna pop him some pixie dust and make it happen. No. No. It don't work like that, alright? I mean, that is simply the most mediocre thing and the most idiotic and even the stupidest kind of mindset I've ever seen in my entire life. Why? Because only the poor mindseted people or individuals will think of that way. Because people who have a very poor mindset like that, they're the only one who's gonna think of that. They always find a way for a short way to get it done. They don't like to be patient. They don't like to be patient. They don't want to work on it. They just want to get it out of the way and get it out of their system. And guess what? That's a very bad mindset to all people, and especially for entrepreneurs. And I would never advise that to entrepreneurs to have a very poor mindset like that. Because here's the thing: real entrepreneurs have a goal-oriented mindset and not some ignorant mindset that I hate so much. Point is, it takes time to get it out of the way. It takes time for you to achieve that, all right? But that does not mean you achieve and reach your goals right away, right? So as long as you stick to it, you're not gonna have hard time at all. Because the majority of the time these days is that the majority of the people that I meet every day, all they do is fucking complain all day long, saying, "Oh man," like saying the following things such as, "Oh man, I give up. This is so hard." Well, guess what? Genius? It's supposed to be hard. Life is not meant to be easy, guys. So that's just me. And I'll give you an example, guys. For instance, if you wanted to become like a professional rapper, here's the advice: you want to jump into your first gig offered by a city that you live, and you simply know what you're gonna do, and you think you're gonna get some views or get some audience right away. No. You can't do that, because if you do that, it's only gonna end up good, or end up being bad. Because you have no idea what you're doing. It's all about practice. Because here's the thing: because becoming a professional rapper is no laughing matter. Because in order for you to become one, it takes a huge amount of dedication, perseverance, patience, and motivation to get to that industry. Many people these days, they have no idea how hard it is to become a rapper, especially at this time. Because how do I say this? It's all about social media and so on and all that, but that's irrelevant from what I'm talking about. But I do believe if you're trying to be a rapper at this time, it's a good time, because we have all these amazing social media tools that they can use to their advantage. So so far we have made it to the fourth reason why forming positive habits is very important to success. Fourth reason is that habit sets a foundation for life. So what does it mean when it sets a huge foundation for your life? So many people don't actually realize how important this is. I feel like this is one of the most important reasons why forming habits is important. I'm pretty sure it is. Basically, since habits becomes you, or whatever you do on your basis of life, it basically happens. Basically, whatever you choose to follow or do actually set the tone for your entire life. For instance, if you have a habit of greeting children with joy, you will become a joyful person. If you have a habit of eating vegetable with every meal, you will become a healthy person. So in short, whatever you do, that's exactly what's gonna happen to you. Another example is if you like to save money, or if you're really good at handling your own money, you can become, at the end of the day, you can probably work in the bank and become a teller, or even start your own bank. Hey, but that's a different story. All right, we are on the fifth reason now, which is why forming. We are now on the fifth reason why forming positive habits are important to your success. So for this one, if you have a life goal, it isn't the goal itself that will help you reach your dreams. It is the habits that you form and follow while you're trying to get there. Habits are the basic building blocks of reaching any goal or succeeding in any plan. What it means by habits are step one of your life plan. It just means that habits is the building blocks of anything, of any goal or dreams that you're doing to your success, right? Basically, habits are basically like a blueprint to your life. So whatever habits that you're doing, that's exactly what's gonna result on. That's what it is. The next reason is that habits actually eliminates wasted time. That's right, you heard me right. It actually eliminates wasted time. So what does that mean then? Well, let's put it this way, guys. As humans, we have the tendency to waste a shitload of time, which I'm actually surprised about that, by the way. Because here's the thing: the majority of us would rather not do anything difficult or challenging at all, and that's actually the saddest part. Like we don't want to do anything difficult. We don't like hard things. We don't like to struggle. Well, guess what? Here's something I need to tell you guys, and I need to break it to you. Do you really think that achieving your goals and dreams is gonna be like a snap? No, it's not. You're supposed to struggle, because if we don't struggle, then we'll never learn anything at all. And most importantly, the word hustle and grinding will not exist at all in the world of entrepreneurship. That's why we entrepreneurs, we have to strive every day. We don't look for short ways or to a shortcut to life and so on, you know. But here's the good news. The good news is that if we create those positive habits that I mentioned in this episode, then hey, we can become more efficient, which results in reducing how much time we are wasting. So instead of us complaining every single goddamn day about how your life sucks, or how your girlfriend dumps you, or how your girlfriend cheated on you, or how your parents treated on you, stop complaining and just get it done. Move forward, and now we're not wasting time at all. That's it. You know, that's the whole gist. If you want to become successful, if you want to achieve your goals, stop complaining the fuck, because no one cares. No one cares if you complain, even if you compare to your parents. I mean, they're probably gonna care, but the whole point is no one cares. So stop complaining, guys. That's the whole gist of this six reason. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The final reason why forming positive habits is crucial for your success. The final reason is that habits can replace motivation. Wow, that is actually 100% true, guys. With positive habits, you can actually reinforce those positive habits and actually replace motivation. So what does that mean then? It means that we all have those days when then we don't feel like working out, exercising, or probably just or eating healthy. But when these things are habits, they actually become a second nature, and we do them without thinking. When healthy eating becomes a habit, although you may eat one slice of cake today, you probably won't eat more and will go right back to making healthy choices tomorrow. You get the point? The point is that we all been there. We all been there before. We all been there where we don't feel like doing anything just because we're having a hard time getting it done. And there are just some times that I just don't we just don't want to do it because you feel like giving up. But it can't. And that's why habits can actually replace your motivation, guys. So don't let anyone stop you. That's all I can tell you. All right, that is pretty much the seven main reasons why it is very important and crucial to form those positive habits to yourself. Now, let me go right ahead and tell you how you can start creating those new habits. Ready, set, go. All right. Self motivation. That's number one. Did you know that research shows that having both a large goal or a small goal, small steps to reach your habits is the most effective way to succeed? That's interesting. Your daily habits will help you achieve your goal. Number two, create a behavior chain. Rather than an abstract goal or of I need to exercise daily or every day, create an action chain that helps you get there. Such as after I get home from work, I will change into my exercise clothes, socialize for 30 minutes, and then go for a run. Because believe me or not, research shows that this kind of planning is more effective for creating healthy habits. And here's my final tip for you guys. Don't fall off the wagon. And trust me, that's actually my tip. Don't fall off the wagon. And what it means. Whenever you're starting off a whole new habit, there are times when the little things can derail messed up your effort before it becomes a habit. But the good news is that there is a quick fix to this. You can easily prevent this by finding out what actually causes you to want to quit in the first place, which in the end eliminates that trigger. On the other hand, you can also find different ways to make it easier to settle to your new habit. In the end, creating a foundation of healthy habits will benefit your life from today. From today far in the future and probably even tomorrow. Hey, that's the beautiful thing about it. Point is, you should be the one. You should be the one, or you should do one thing you really need to know. This is not an impossible thing or impossible task to complete. And with few simple tricks and hacks, it can make the process so much easier. So I recommend you to follow these simple strategies that I just told you in this episode that I come up with, and get back on track and see your life blossom and your success to the next level. And before we end this another great episode of my podcast show, let me do a quick shout out to the newest followers that follow me on my sound to my podcast show. To my newest followers, their name is Ride Alive and at K Bando on my podcast show. So if you guys are listening to this episode, I just want to say one thing that I highly appreciate for the huge follow, and I appreciate your support as well, guys. And make sure to follow these guys on SoundCloud as well, because each of them are individuals who are making to the world of hip hop industry. Each of their SoundCloud accounts will be mentioned on either my Twitter feed, or simply check them out on my SoundCloud profile, and I will go right ahead and provide their links to their SoundCloud. Sounds good, right? So you have now reached the end of another awesome episode of the Hustle Factory podcast show. Make sure to connect with me on our official Facebook page, and as well as to the official Twitter page at H Factory Podcast. Also, don't forget to follow us as well on our Facebook page and Twitter too for upcoming episode releases. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.